Fast, accurate, with Jennifer Copeland and Rick Shutt. You're watching WSBT-22 News at 6.
Federal appeal court judges are now reviewing a case that started in South Bend.
Now, the question whether the recording of South Bend police officers' phone calls violated a federal law. WSBT-22's Danielle Kennedy has the story from Chicago.
Today, 3 judges at the U.S. Court of Appeals heard opening arguments in a case that originated in South Bend 5 years ago. It's taken a lot of twists and turns, but now judges have to decide if they even have the jurisdiction to take up the case. Attorneys for the city and police say some police phone calls were recorded without permission or their knowledge for more than 2 years, but the tapes were never released. In 2012, the Common Council filed a subpoena to get them.
There are all kinds of rumors going on out there. Racial motivations, political motivation. Nobody knows what's on those tapes.
Last year, a district court judge ruled that recordings made after February 2011 were protected by a law called the Federal Wiretap Act and couldn't be released. But the judge didn't clarify what could happen to the recordings made on or before then.
When we read the Wiretap Act, our view is that the only way you can listen into somebody else's calls is if you have a warrant, or if they say you're allowed to listen to my calls, or if it was done as part of a formal police procedure. And none of those things happened in this case.
But Palmer says there's an exclusion in the law, and that's partly why the council has appealed the judge's ruling.
It's normal police business to tape record calls into and out of the police department. It's widespread. Almost every police department in the country that's more than 2 or 3 people have the ability to record the calls.
Sullivan insists the court needs to make the final decision.
We have to know that the recordings that were made were legally made. And so you discuss the law first. It doesn't do to say, let's just listen to this so that we could be done with it.
Attorneys will have 2 weeks to file paperwork with the court to prove why it can and should take this case, but it could be months before judges make their final decision. In Chicago, I'm Danielle Kennedy, WSBT 22 News.